Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So we currently see a decline here, and I think what I said in my last video yesterday was correct. Had a good feeling that it was just not strong enough yet, that correction, yeah, and that I would at least like it to go here more significant below the A wave. That's now happening. Now we've dropped out of the channel. Now that can mean two things. That can mean the overall top was already reached here in 3 waves, yeah, in an ABC or maybe even some kind of a hidden 5-wave move, and that C wave is already complete, or we are simply pulling back in this ABC wave, which is what I currently expect, even if we drop out of the channel. But so far, this wave 4 correction was very, very shallow. And yesterday, it already looked like we were going up here, especially on the Ethereum chart. The Bitcoin chart didn't really show those signs, and I told you that as long as we stay below 16,938, which is here the 78.6% retracement, I would personally focus on a little bit lower. I would like to get that correction a little bit clearer, and that is exactly what we're seeing at the moment. So the breakout did not occur yet. Primarily, I'm still looking for a 5th wave here to complete this C wave to the upside of the wave 2 that we've now talked about extensively. So ideally, I'd like to get one more wave up, but when we were here yesterday, that correction was just not clear enough, yeah, and it was just not a typical C wave. So therefore, I think we are seeing the C wave now. And in terms of subwaves, I mean, analyzing subwaves here is always a bit tricky, but how I see this is a possibility in this C wave is that we've seen here a wave 1, a wave 2. All of this is a 3rd wave. There should be a 4th and a 5th in the C wave. So, and what I said normally, what you would expect in diagonal patterns, now it doesn't always happen. The more traditional way of Elliott Wave requires basically a diagonal to overlap 4 and 1. But from experience, I can tell you it's not always the case. But, you know, that would mean that we would normally expect at least to go down to 16,650 now, to cut into the wave 1 price region. Again, it's not a requirement, but the current impulsive candle down would suggest that. 16,650, I guess there we'll see some support. And it's sort of a range here, that support range. You could say between 16,600, that previous swing low, and that swing high here at 16,650. So between 16,600 and 16,650, we should find support ideally. Yeah, and also if I look at this in terms of the Fibonacci extensions, if we say we had a wave A down, B up, and we're now moving down in C. If we take a look at what was the length of the A wave, what was the length of the B wave, and then we can calculate a target here. That would actually, the first target here would be 16,655, so very close to what I identified here just now for you. The absolute stretch target, from my understanding, that would actually be a bit too low, looking at the proportions of it all. But the 1.618 extension would take us down to 16,520. So all of this would be possible for this wave 4 retracement. Don't be surprised that we see quite a strong retracement if it's a wave 4. If it's a diagonal, you can get that. But if we go below 16,520, things are going to get tough. And the scenario that we're still going to go up is extremely being challenged. And as I said to you in the previous video, already below 16,450, I'm going to start to lean towards a direct breakout to the downside. That is here below this wave 2 low that was made on the 31st of December. But it's not only that wave 2 low, actually much more relevant. It is the 78.6% retracement of the wave A. That's here at 16,440, 450, depending on how accurately I draw the fibs. But that's a critical level. Below that, I think we're going to go down directly. But at the moment, there is no reason for concern, at least not yet. This for me still looks like a normal ABC correction, even if it comes down quite impulsively. But that was anticipated. Told you yesterday in the video that ideally I would like to see a stronger move down, maybe to the channel support, possibly even lower, to get that overlap with the wave 1. And that might be what we're seeing now. So at the moment, no reason for concern. at least not yet. The scenario is still active. And also we talked about it extensively that in these ranges you need to expect headwinds all the time if you decide to trade this, because especially with Bitcoin, this is not a very clearly or a very clear impulsive pattern to the upside. Impulses, and we discussed it before as well, impulses make the life easier for analysts and traders. This is only a diagonal, or even possibly only a corrective wave. And that's the problem with diagonals. You can't clearly distinguish them from corrective waves. So if I have a choice to trade a pattern that shows a diagonal and a pattern or a chart that shows an impulse, I would always personally choose the impulse. Not because I like the asset more or something, but it would be, from a trading point of view, just a matter of probabilities and that I can trust an impulse more. So, but anyway, at the moment, this scenario is still active. If we zoom out a little bit, we still have the possibility here that we go higher, of course, in this ABC pattern. Yeah, would ideally see the C wave higher to 17.1K or maybe even 17.6, but I also talked about that in the previous video. 17.6 seems a little bit far away, so 17.1K would be the more likely option. And then I would expect it to go down. An earlier than expected breakdown would occur if we drop below 16,450, as just mentioned. And what I also observe, it's too early to talk about that or confirm it really, is that we have a larger ABC pattern, which might even go higher. But it's too early to talk about that. First of all, we need to reach the 17.1K level before we talk about the green count, which would take us a bit higher, because in the green count, the C wave would go a bit higher. It would be a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, a wave 5. It's embedded in a larger pattern. So instead of, like in the blue count, to see only an ABC, only 3 waves, in the green count we would see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 waves up. So that can push us a bit higher, maybe into the 19K region. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. And also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content every day. And if you're interested, maybe check out the trading course that we offer on morecryptoonline.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.